Emma Walker, a quiet 16-year-old with headphones on and a paperback novel in her lap, never expected this flight to change her life. It was supposed to be routine, a commercial flight from Denver to Seattle, her first solo trip. The sun poured through the cabin windows, painting everything gold. Passengers chatted softly, flight attendants smiled, and everything felt peaceful, until it didn't. An hour into the flight, turbulence hit, small at first, then violent enough to knock drinks off trays. The pilot's calm voice came through. "Ladies and gentlemen, please fasten your seatbelts." Then static. The intercom went dead. The plane jolted sideways, oxygen masks dangled from above. Emma's heart slammed in her chest as she grabbed hers. The woman next to her whispered a prayer. Minutes turned into an eternity. The cabin grew hot, then cold. The engine noise changed, rougher, uneven. A man near the wing shouted, "One engine's out." Panic rippled through the cabin. Emma looked out her window. Smoke trailed behind the left wing. But what came next froze her completely. Two gray fighter jets appeared beside them, gliding through the clouds like metallic hawks. Passengers gasped. Phones came out. One child pointed and said, "Mom, are we in trouble?" Emma pressed her face to the window. The pilots of the F-22s were staring directly at their plane, helmets gleaming in sunlight. Something had gone terribly wrong, and whatever was happening, the military was now involved. The passengers murmured nervously as the jets drew closer. The pilot's voice returned, distorted and tense. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing a communication failure. Please remain calm." His tone said something else. Fear. Emma's pulse quickened. Outside, one fighter pilot made a hand signal toward their cockpit, pointing down, an instruction. The cabin filled with confused whispers. A flight attendant moved quickly down the aisle, face pale but composed. "Everything is fine," she said, but her eyes betrayed the truth. Then, silence. The hum of the engines faded. For a horrifying moment, the plane felt weightless. The captain's voice cracked through. "We've lost both radios. We're being escorted to land." Emma's stomach dropped. Fighter jets only did that when there was a security threat. People began to cry. A businessman shouted, "What's going on?" No one answered. Through the window, the second jet rolled slightly, revealing the insignia of the U.S. Air Force. The pilot raised his hand and pointed to the ground again, forcefully. Emma caught a glimpse of the reflection of their aircraft in his visor. He was watching them closely. Then from somewhere near the cockpit, a loud bang echoed. Gasps spread through the cabin. The captain's door flew open. A co-pilot stumbled out, his face streaked with sweat. "We've lost the autopilot," he yelled. For a second, everyone froze. Emma gripped her seat as the plane tilted violently to one side. The fighters stayed locked beside them, their precision flawless. No one realized yet. The captain wasn't moving. The co-pilot's shout sliced through the chaos. "I need help, the captain's unconscious." Screams erupted. The aircraft dropped sharply, luggage tumbling down. Oxygen masks swung wildly. Emma could barely breathe. She looked ahead. The cockpit door was open, alarms flashing red. The view outside spinning between clouds and sunlight. The co-pilot fought the controls alone. "He's not responding," he muttered, voice trembling. Sweat dripped down his neck. The flight attendants moved fast. One dragged a doctor forward, another comforted crying passengers. The jets outside stayed perfectly aligned, a silent shield guiding them through the turbulence. Emma stood up despite the chaos. Her father was a retired Air Force instructor. She had spent years in flight simulators for fun. Her knees shook as she called out, "I can help." Everyone turned. The co-pilot's eyes met hers, desperate, skeptical. "You're a kid," he said. "I know," she replied, "but I know how to fly." A moment of hesitation. Then he gestured her forward. She stumbled into the cockpit, heart pounding. The air smelled like burning metal. Through the cracked windshield, the fighter jet pilot saluted. and pointed toward a nearby airfield glimmering under sunlight. Emma's hands landed on the yoke. Her mind replayed every lesson she'd seen her father teach. Steady pressure, read the horizon, control the nose. The co-pilot guided her. Keep her level. Good. Good. For the first time, the plane began to stabilize. Outside, the F-22s broke formation slightly, clearing the path. 16 years old. A commercial jet under her control. Hundreds of lives depending on her hands. And they were still 30,000 feet above the ground. Wind howled. The plane's right wing wobbled, smoke trailing behind. The airfield appeared far below, tiny, framed by mountains and sunlight. "You're doing great," the co-pilot said, voice breaking. "Just don't look down." Emma's hands trembled, sweat slick on the controls. The fighter jets closed in again, one on each side. Their pilots gestured to slow descent, guiding her step by step. The captain still lay motionless. Everyone in the cabin held their breath. Flaps down. She muttered to herself, recalling her dad's words. "Keep her nose up, watch your speed." The runway grew larger. Warning alarm screamed. One engine coughed smoke, the plane tilted. She fought it, muscles straining, eyes locked on the horizon. "Level, level," the co-pilot shouted. Emma adjusted. The tires hit asphalt, hard. Sparks flew. The entire cabin jolted forward, passengers screaming, then silence. The plane skidded, slowing. When it finally stopped, people began sobbing, clapping, praying. Emma's body went numb. The cockpit door burst open as emergency crews ran toward them. Through the cracked window, she saw the F-22 pilots land nearby, stepping out and saluting her. As she stepped off the plane, her legs shaking, sunlight hit her face. Cameras clicked. Firefighters and soldiers stared in disbelief. One of the jet pilots removed his helmet and walked up to her. "You're the kid from Seat 14F?" he asked. She nodded, speechless. He smiled, eyes wide with respect. "Not anymore." The story of a 16-year-old who saved hundreds at 30,000 feet spread around the world that same day. Because sometimes, heroes don't wear uniforms. They just refuse to panic when the sky falls.